Hello, hello, hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here at the Attack Line for this Hump Day, Wednesday, May the 21st, 2014. Hope everyone's enjoying this nice day. Michigan is a nice day, about 75, so it's very nice weather today. Let's kick things off with your Billboard number ones for this week. Well, let's say Michael Jackson made an impact on both the Hot 100 and the Top 200. First things first, his album Escape did not land at number one, but it landed at number two, as it lost by only 7,000 copies to the Black Keys' album Turn Blue, giving them their first number one album. It was a tight race, with 164,000 sold for Turn Blue and 157 for Escape, benefiting from the Billboard Awards and the Hologram. And like I said, Michael not only made an impact on the top 200, he also made an impact on the Hot 100. John Legend retains number one with All of Me for the third week in a row, but MJ garners a top 10 hit with Love Never Felt So Good, the duet version of JT. With this, Michael becomes the first and only artist to have garnered a top 10 single in 5 consecutive decades. The record was 4 decades. He's had a top 10 hit in the 70s, the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. Some have their opinion on the whole MJ thing. Quincy Jones, his longtime producer, point blank said in an interview, money grab. But the estate's loving the fact that people are buying the record. I love it. I love Escape. Some would say that the material should not have been released at all. Michael's perfectionism. But at least they put it out for us to hear. Hey. So there you go. Michael made an impact. Top number 2 on the albums. And like I said, top 10, Love Never Felt So Good. Now, of course, Michael's dead, sadly, but at least he can still go to hits because they release unreleased material. But artist who's alive and well, whose career may not be alive right now, but trying to make a comeback, is Nicki Minaj. Now, Nicki Minaj has not been making music a lot lately. She's been focusing on movies. She just starred in the number 1 movie, The Other Woman. But now she's returning to music as she releases the first single from her upcoming album, The Pink Print. Pills and Potions is the new single for the album, and I hate it. I'm a disc jockey. If you see my shows, I'm a disc jockey. I like bouncy songs. I like interesting dancey songs, poppy songs. Now, Nicki's a pop artist and also a rapper, which kind of alienates fan base because she cannot decide on whether she's a pop singer or a rapper. And this is the ultimate proof. She raps and sings in a slow song. Like I said, I don't like mid tempos. I like slow songs. It's gonna be a singy longy song, but I just don't like it. Make another Starships, honey. Make another Pound the Alarm. Or even Moment for Life. I wouldn't mind that either. I wouldn't mind a Moment for Life either. Or even a super bass. Something bouncier. We'll see how she does with her second single. In the singles market, it's fickle market. You want a hot single. If it's not hot, you gotta release another one. You gotta stay relevant. Nicki Minaj has not released anything new in a couple years, and now she needs to come back strong, and this single isn't the way to come back. But we saw what happened with Katy Perry with War. I thought War was a bad choice for the first single, but I liked War better than Dark Horse, and especially better than Unconditionally. Because I always release the first single, I always judge the first single. I'm like, damn, the first single sucks. Let's see what the second single does. And then by the time the second single comes out, I've seen this with a lot of people recently. I'm like, wow, the first single was better. Like Justin Timberlake, big example. I thought Suit and Tie sucked until I heard Mirrors. I was like, Suit and Tie is better. So that could be the case with Nicki. Hopefully her second single is better than the first. But till then, I bet you'll be on iTunes chart. It may make an impact on the Hot 100 next week. So then, Nicki Minaj debuts her new song, Pills and Potions, produced by Dr. Luke. Dr. Luke has produced people like Katy Perry and Kesha. Couldn't release anything poppier, like I said. Maybe that's her next single. Now, besides that, on with news, this is just coming in as I am making this. This news just came out. Rumors are flying about, and this may not be true, but rumors are flying about Guns N' Roses breaking up. Well, everyone will be like, yay, because Axl's the only original member left. Axl Rose, who was shouted as a good vocalist according to a vocal system software that was released earlier this week, may be breaking up the group after their Vegas stint, according to several sources, especially on Radar Online, that the band will call it a day after their Las Vegas residency wraps up on June 7th. They got another Vegas residency, of course they had one a couple years ago, then they're back in Vegas. The residency actually kicks off tonight at the Hard Rock, and they're playing for 2 weeks, and after they're done with that stint, they're done as a band. According to several sources, are saying that band members have been told that their calendars are free after Vegas. Axl is considering retiring when it's done. Band members and support staff are surprised when told the news and are actively looking for work. So Axl wants to retire. That's what we're hearing. May not be true or not, but the rumors are flying about Guns N' Roses breaking up following the Vegas stint as Axl wants to retire. Maybe he's finally sick and tired, getting annoyed by the fans saying you can't do a Guns N' Roses without the original people. You know, his ego gets the best of him. So we'll see what happens if the rumors are true. But till then, rumors are flying about the Guns N' Roses breakup after June 7th. Now who knows, maybe Guns N' Roses will go to Broadway. Like the Guns N' Roses story going to Broadway. A lot of bands are making Broadway musicals based on their music. Queen's got We Will Rock You. Of course, there's Jersey Boys. The Frankie Valli story. Billy Joe had a hit with Moving Out. Now Gloria Estefan is getting in the Broadway game. Next spring, she'll premiere her new Broadway musical, On Your Feet. Of course, named after her hit single, Get On Your Feet. With the full title, Get On Your Feet, the story of Amelia and Gloria Estefan, will be directed by Jerry Mitchell, director of the award-winning Kiki Boots, a musical written by Cyndi Lauper, another 80s artist. And the show will be a jukebox show in the veins of Mamma Mia, among others, and with all the hits of Gloria and the music soundtrack, will tell the life of the Cuban-born Estefans. They're also paying new music for the show, and they're authorized by the family. The show will kick off in Chicago. They'll do previews in Chicago in the spring and it'll land on Broadway in the fall of 2015. So there you go. Gloria Estefan making a musical based on her career in music, coming in the fall of 2015 Broadway, spring 2015 Chicago. Now onto a show that will last till 2015. Modern Family. Tonight is the season finale. Now, this is the part 2 of the 2-part finale starting off last week. Of course, the setup for the wedding for Kim and Mitchell. We've seen the setup for the wedding for the last couple of months, and now the wedding is finally happening. We saw part 1 last week. The wedding site was evacuated thanks to fire, and all the shenanigans were going on to get the wedding done to avoid the fire from evacuating. But as we saw in the end of part 1, they had to evacuate the site. So we'll see how the wedding ends up. And all the other story arcs from last week's episode ends the season of Modern tonight at 9, Central on ABC. Can't wait to see the season 5 finale. And that is it for the Atakline for this hump day. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the news from Zach. Once again, thanks for watching. See ya! Yeah.